The whisper in the darkness. There was something in the darkness that couldn't be seen, but could be felt. Something that watched in the shadows, waiting for the exact moment to come closer and whisper what you would never want to hear. This is the story of Marta, a skeptical woman who never believed in legends of spirits or strange entities, until one night, she became the protagonist of something much more real and terrifying. It was a quiet night like any other. Marta was sitting in her living room, enjoying her favorite book. The warm light from the lamp was the only thing breaking the darkness. The phone rang. An unknown number. Ryan rang. The call came through, and Marta picked up the phone with a slight smile. She was used to calls from her friends, but the tone on the other end of the line made her frown. "Marta, are you alone at home?" Laura, her best friend, sounded shaky. "Yes, what's going on?" Marta replied, confused. "Why are you talking like that?" "Because I'm not sure how to explain it," Laura said, her voice quieter. "But I feel like something is following me, something that whispers, something I can't see, but it's there." Marta felt uneasy, but tried to calm her down. "Laura, it's nothing. You must be tired. It's just your imagination, I'm sure. Everything's fine." But the worry in Laura's voice didn't fade. "I'm not so sure. Since last night, the whisper has gotten stronger. It's close to you, Marta. Very close." Marta's blood ran cold. "What are you saying?" "It's just nonsense. It's nothing more than a bad dream, or something you made up. Don't ignore it. It doesn't matter if it's your imagination, but if it's something else. Marta, you're not alone. Something is watching you." Marta tried to reassure her, as she always did, telling her not to believe in those things. She hung up the phone and tried to convince herself that there was no reason to worry. However, a strange feeling overtook her. The atmosphere became heavy, as if the air were charged with something dark. She decided to go to the kitchen to distract herself a little. That's when she heard it. A soft whisper, barely audible, as if someone were whispering her name in the dimness of the room. Marta turned quickly, but there was no one there. "It's the wind," she thought, trying to calm herself. But something inside her knew it wasn't just that. She stood still, looking around, but the whisper came again, this time closer. "Marta?" Marta's heart skipped a beat. She looked ahead, but saw nothing. The whisper repeated, now almost in her ear, a chilling sound that crawled across her skin. "Marta, come." The air grew denser, heavier, as if something invisible surrounded her. Terrified, Marta began to walk toward the window, searching for an explanation. She approached cautiously, her breath growing more erratic. She slowly opened the curtain, hoping to find something rational, something that would make her feel like it was all just in her mind. But all she saw was her own reflection, pale and trembling. Suddenly, a loud knock echoed on the window, a strong sound, as if something was hitting from outside. Marta jumped and immediately ran to the window. She opened the blinds, but when she looked out, there was nothing. The street was empty, completely silent. Only the darkness of the night surrounded her. She turned back toward the room, and at that moment, the whisper came again, closer than ever. "Marta, come." The voice seemed to be right beside her, breathing over her skin. Marta spun around quickly, but there was nothing there, only the cold darkness of the room. However, the feeling of being watched intensified, becoming unbearable. The shadow in the room seemed to grow denser, as if the darkness itself was taking over the space. At that moment, the lamp flickered and then went out completely, plunging the room into absolute darkness. The sound of the whisper transformed into a hissing laugh, cold and cruel, that froze Marta's body. "Marta, you can't escape now." Her heart raced. She was trapped in her own house, surrounded by something she couldn't see but could feel with every fiber of her being. A deep fear filled her, a fear she had never experienced before. She looked around at every corner, searching for something, anything, that could offer a rational explanation. But there was nothing, except for that presence that filled everything. And then she saw it, a dark figure, barely perceptible, forming in the corner of the room. It wasn't human, but its eyes, if they could be called eyes, stared at her intently. Marta backed away slowly, her mind struggling to comprehend what was happening. The figure moved toward her, as if floating above the floor, gliding silently, always getting closer. The shadow disappeared before Marta could react, but the whisper continued, persistent, repeating her name, calling her over and over. The whole night, Marta didn't sleep. The whisper wouldn't leave her alone. Not the next day. It seemed to be in her mind, roaming through her thoughts, always present, getting louder. The darkness hadn't gone away, and the cold that had invaded her that night never fully left. That whisper never stopped. And the last time Marta heard it, just like before, she wasn't alone. The whisper had finally caught up to her. It's your turn, Marta. Because in the darkness, there's always something waiting. And sometimes, a whisper is all it takes for you to never escape.